boy, what has been happening with Wish in the past month? We saw it going up by a lot because of Wall Street bets and momentum ramping up, and now it is back down below $10 per share. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to talk all about Wish, what is going on with Wish since my last video, figure out why it is dropping right now, what is my price target, and what I'm currently doing with my investments. I do want to thank you all, as we are already a little over 7,000 subscribers in this channel and over 1,200 on my second channel, my Spanish channel. All thanks to you. I'm very happy and grateful about all this. If you haven't already, consider subscribing and smashing that like button, since it really helps the channel out with the YouTube algorithm. Wish stock has been a complete roller coaster this past weeks. After it got to $15 per share in June because of Wall Street bets, it has been dropping day after day, and it is already at $9.62 per share. That is a 31% drop, but it is down over 52% since its IPO back in December. My last video on Wish was when they announced the CFO leaving the company, which again, I understand that many would think that that is a red flag, as first of all, it was not planned at all. They just went public and it is the CFO. But we figured out that one of the most common reasons for CFO leaving a company is because of another job opportunity, and apparently that is the reason here. Many would say that he got fired because of what Glassdoor says, and it could be true, but I'm more anxious to know who their new CFO will be, as that is more important right now, just like how they just announced their new CTO, or Chief of Technology Office. The new CTO will be Farhan Kasai. I'm sorry if that's not the correct way to pronounce the name, but it's Farhan Kasai, former senior director at Google, which I think it is a great addition, as he not only worked at Google as senior director of software engineering, but also as senior director engineering, commerce OS, and shared service and marketplace in eBay since 2006. Left 8 years later to Google, where he worked for 6.8 years, and now is a CTO of Wish, and will be in charge of Wish's marketplace, engineering, product and infrastructure, data and relevancy, Wish local and product procurement, and will also drive the development of new technology solutions. He said, and I quote, "My aim is to help enrich the consumer experience and make our open commerce ecosystem more viable for merchants, all while building out complementary new features to strengthen Wish's position as one of the preeminent platforms for value-conscious shoppers." Again, I think it is a great addition to the company because of its experience in such big companies, but we gotta wait and see how it performs in the future, in the coming quarters. First, we got Jacqueline Reeses from Square, and now Farhan Kasai from Google and eBay, which is hiring excellent and elite executives in my opinion, and based on this, I expect the new CFO will be an absolute beast as well. I'm just anxious to know who he or she is gonna be. Then they also announced that Wish granted a payment institution license for the European Union. This license will simply enable Wish to process their own transactions and increase control over payments while reducing reliance on third parties. First, it will be used to pay their EU merchants, and I do believe this is kind of nice, and it went unnoticed when announced, as even though it will only be used to pay merchants for now, this will also give them the possibility to become a payment service provider in Europe, while also reduce costs, as they will be in charge of their payment processes without needing to pay to third-party payments processors, and that gives them more long-term growth potential and expansion into other type of businesses. Now let's talk about the lawsuit again going on with Wish. Many of you have asked what is happening and how this could affect Wish. So the latest article about this was on Friday, which said that the deadline for people with losses exceeding $300,000 that wanted to participate in the class action was almost here. Again, the complaint alleges that throughout the class period, defendants made materially false and misleading statements to the market in the registration statement and prospectus issued in connection with its initial public offering (IPO), and especially that one, Contest Logic's Q4 2020 monthly active users (MAUs) had declined materially and were not then growing. Number two, consequently, defendants materially overstated the company's business metrics and financial prospects. I posted a video explaining more in depth what was really happening, as this has been going on for months now, and my thoughts on all this, while proving what I think is the right way to approach this situation, as we need to do our own research and don't believe everything that we see online. In that video, I showed why I think which did mention their MAUs were dropping and might be inflated in some quarters due to certain effects, which they explain in both their S1 filing and their 2020 earnings report. I will link that video down below in the description and will most likely appear here if you want to click it and go and watch it as well after this video. I have seen this happen with many other companies. We just gotta wait and see what happens. If it goes through and which wins, then the stock will most likely go up for a bit, and if they lose, we might see it affected once again. The thing is that I think that a bad outcome from this lawsuit is already priced in the stock price, as it is already down by a lot, already again below $10, and it even got to $8.9 this morning. Again, I am not worried about this right now, but I'm certainly following the news and waiting to see what the outcome is, as I'm investing a lot of money in this company and I always try to be on top of what they do to know if the fundamentals are still fine and if they're still growing and if I still want to invest in this company. Now, let's talk about what I'm doing with my investments and my thoughts right now. I know the stock is down by a lot. I'm down by a lot in my position as well. But we need to also notice that Wish has a lot going on and still it might be down because of the broader market, not only because of them. If we check the Russell 2000, which is an index that takes in the smallest 2,000 companies out of the Russell 3000, which is the 3,000 smallest company. The Russell 2000 has been dropping a lot since June 24th, which is about when Wish got to their $15 peak. What this means is that all the growth and small mid-market cap companies are dropping. A steep decline in the Russell 2000 index makes sense on Wish dropping, as many more small companies are dropping as well. Fubo has dropped over 23% during the same period, for example. Also, the most recent inflation data shows that rate of inflation is 5.4% right now, which is the highest one since 2008, and that creates a lot of fear in the market. It is then when small and mid-sized companies are speculative in nature and get hit really hard, as what is happening right now, when there is so much uncertainty in the market and even more because of inflation, because these companies are not valued by traditional valuation metrics based on net income or positive cash flow, because those companies will most likely not be profitable right now and can't compare it with big companies. Those are the stocks that suffer the most in days like this, or months like this one, or years like this one, as they are very, very volatile and speculative stocks. What I want to say with this is that I know it is frustrating to see our investments going down so much and makes us believe that it is only our company that is going down, the one that we are investing in. Even harder when we see the FANG stocks at almost all-time high, but we need to understand that growth, small and mid-cap companies are way, way more volatile and way, way riskier than the FANG stocks, for example, and that is why we call it high-risk, high-reward investments. Also, I want you guys to understand that I'm investing in Wish for the long term. That is difficult for me to see it dropping like this right now. Yes, obviously, I'm a human just like you, but I believe in the company. I did my research on the company and try to keep track of everything Wish and my other companies do. What I try to do in moments like this is that if I have cash available, I buy more. If not, I just watch my investment but never panic sell. I would not recommend anyone here invest or trade Wish for the short term, neither all of these other growth, small and mid-cap companies, because you will most likely lose money. Now, I know that the stock is already below $10 and this is really, really cheap. I've said it before. This is an excellent price to buy more. I'm waiting to see. I bought I'm not waiting. I bought on Friday, I bought on Thursday, and I've been buying ever since it dropped below $10. But I'm waiting it to drop to $7.5 to $8 per share. Between that range is where I'm going to buy heavy again in this company, as I've been just adding $50, $100, $150 here and there, and then between $7.5 to $8 is where I'm going to buy heavy in this stock again, as I know it is really cheap. I see the growth in the company, the potential in the company, and the future growth. Again, I'm investing in this long term. I'm not expecting it to get to $20 next week. If it gets to $20, okay, but it's not the best outcome, because it most likely be because it is being manipulated, or maybe because there was an excellent news around this. Many would prefer to wait and see their earnings for Q2, which is perfectly fine. I will be posting a video analyzing those earnings as well. Again, I'm investing for this in the long term. I might hold this stock for 3 to 5 or even 10 years, depending on its performance and its fundamentals. Please, please, please be careful with your investments, and only invest in things that you feel comfortable with, not because you see a lot of people investing in a stock or me investing in a stock. If you lose money, none of that people will give that money back to you. So take care of your money and your investments. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please smash that like button and subscribe, since it really helps the channel out. Thank you, and see you next time.